Alright, so the next fight that we watched was Rusty Shackleford versus Trainer. And I don't know what's with kind of the naming during this competition, since a lot of the names didn't really make that much sense to me. Like, Rusty Shackleford, you know, do you have a little insight on maybe why they named it that?
I vaguely remember maybe a Pixar or Disney movie animated that was about robots, where I think that the main character's name was like Rusty Shacklebolt or something like that. Or I could be thinking of Kingsley Shacklebolt from Harry Potter. I don't know.
Could be either one of them, but it sure doesn't look like either of those, because it's just like a Metal Gear Solid box in the ring. And then we have Trainer, which...
Trainer's back.
Yeah, and also too, like...
them before.
Yeah.
They went boom against Agony.
Yeah.
And now they're mean.
Yeah, and the thing with, like, Trainer is, like, there's also... Germantown had, like, a Trainer bot. So, like, I always get these two confused whenever, you know, I watch the fight. So sorry if I say Trainer bot instead of Trainer, because I think this was Trainer bot before.
Quite possibly.
And then they switched it to Trainer, and now we have Trainer bot, and it's like... Couldn't we have been a little bit more creative, guys? I mean,
well, it's not quite as bad as the summer competition. My freshman year, there had been a robot from West Bend called Double Down for a while. Pretty cool design. Then Armageddon kind of smashed it. And then I warned them about it, but that was the year that the boys team 1 year ahead of me, they entered the Splitter bot.
Oh,
and they named that Double Down.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, guys, there's another Double Down. You know that? No, okay.
There's like two Double Down
freshmen. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then so was I actually want to say that they went against each other that match.
Oh gosh, so it's Double Down versus Double Down.
Who think Double Down won?
But anyways, going back to kind of the fight, it looked like TrainerBot added some like wedges to itself this time around.
Yeah,
which,
they sort of brought. I'm guessing they probably weren't directly inspired by this, but they kind of went to Nokia across with Nanobot.
Yeah.
Approach there with the hinged ramp for one thing from Nanobot. And then they had, it was a half ramp where it only comes up halfway. And obviously the wedges on hinges, those are an enormous advantage.
Yeah.
But what you can do with that half ramp, then you've got the wall behind it where something goes up your ramp, it's stuck. Whereas on like sort of dome-shaped bots, like Octavis or Sleeper or Comet and that sort of thing, if they go up your ramp, they're on top of you, which is still great for points with control, but you can't, like, more often than not, if you want to get them off, you have to ram yourself into the wall, or you can spin, but with this, they're stuck there, so you just run them into the wall, and then, well, you know that the wall isn't going to break, and you hope that your robot doesn't break.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully somewhere in between there's something in their bot's going to break.
Yeah, and also something that I kind of noticed about this fight is, again, it's kind of like the first fight where like it's not that great of a fight.
Except that first hit.
That first hit was the thing where it made the fight for me. And it's like they just came out of the gate and BAM! And it's like, yeah, this is going to be a good fight, and then the rest of it's like, okay.
Then they stop moving.
Yeah, and that's something that you'll see a lot of in this competition is, and something that I started complaining about in the later videos is, we're going to give you a 10 count. No, you're not. Our bot is dead. Just don't even bother. You know, and I think one team actually did that later on, but it's just, a lot of these fights ended in 10 counts, and I wish that,
the 10 counts can save.
Yeah, they can, and it did for one bot, but for a lot of these bots, it's just, it ended in a 10 count, they were down for the count, and some of them, it was kind of like Rusty Shackleford versus Trainer, where they had a really good first hit or first couple hits, and then nothing. They're dead.
They seemed a little bit, I don't know, they didn't seem to be running 100% after that, because that was some mean acceleration on that first ram. That was impressive. And then they must have like dented a plate-in so that it was dragging on the ground instead of their wheels, or they knocked loose some
sort of wire
or something.
Yeah, because it seemed like after that first hit, they couldn't move for a little bit. Then they started like swirling around in circles a little bit, and then you know a couple hits later, they're dead. They're done.
I'd be interested to know how much that bot weighs.
Yeah,
Because it looks like it's just maybe 1/8 inch, but I'd be surprised if it was even 1/8 inch steel on the top, bottom, front, and back, and then polycarb on the sides. They can't weigh all that much.
yeah. So yeah, it was that first hit is just the thing that you watch this fight for, if anything, and then the rest it's like it's a minute long. You know, you can sit through and watch it if you want to, but it's that first hit that you really want to watch.
Yeah, that Trainer Bot looks really good.
Yeah.
Like they brought it along as a joke the first time,
and now it's kind of evolved into this kind of you know pretty good starting bot for these freshmen. I believe they're freshmen, right? That get the trainer.
Probably, yeah.
So, yeah.
And one thing that's really impressive, I don't know if they're still using them, but after one of the more recent competitions that I was at, we gave West Bend a bunch of our, a couple of our electronic components because we didn't use them anymore. What a lot of teams do, or at least what Germantown does, and this, like, while you're watching these videos, you gotta give West Bend a ton of credit for their driving capabilities. Because Germantown, we just had it where all of your movement was controlled by one stick.
Yeah.
We had robot power Scorpion speed controllers. West Bend, at least the last I knew of, used BattleBots speed controllers, which they were probably phenomenal back in their time, but each motor that you have is tied to a different stick. So if they're charging forward, it's not just one forward, it's both forwards, so you have to coordinate your turns like that, and that it just sort of melts my brain thinking about how, I mean, I tried driving Scribblebot once when we had the BattleBot speed controllers, and that was painful.
Yeah.
I almost dropped it down a flight of stairs.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just, I think my final thoughts are, that first hit, man, that first hit. So, we'll see you in the next one, I guess.
Good day.